I'm Manoj Joshi. I'm a yoga and mindfulness teacher and a life coach in the Bay Area. I help people with stress, anxiety, depression, and many other psychosomatic problems with our proven tools and techniques on a one-on-one basis and also in group classes and workshops. I have helped many students from Stanford, Carnegie Mellon, Berkeley, and other universities who have sought help to manage their stress, anxiety, panic attack, lack of self-confidence, and focus to find meaning in their life, eliminate negative emotions, and become passionate about their life again. If you are experiencing stress, anxiety, depression, and panic attack, please give me a call. I am confident I will be able to help you with many of my proven mindfulness practices. As an environmental scientist and a software engineer in the Valley for a number of years before becoming a personal coach, enables me to understand and navigate the challenges associated with the tremendous stress in the Bay Area. I am convinced that yoga, breathing, meditation, and other mindfulness practices are the tools to deal with the rising incidence of depression-related suicides and gun violence in schools. I would appreciate an opportunity to help you incorporate a holistic lifestyle, set goals, and work on developing physical and mental discipline with my unique life coaching, books, audio tracks, videos, and many other customized resources for you and your family members. Thank you for considering my services to help you in your journey of healing and empowerment. Thank you and namaste.
रेडियो जिंदगी 1170 AM पर विच इज नाउ एन HD आप सुन रहे हैं लाइफ कोच 1-on-1 शो चालू हो चुका है. थर्सडे का दिन है. मेरे साथ आ गए हैं मनोज जोशी जी एंड ऑफ कोर्स वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक टुडे. बट बिफोर दैट लेट मी टेल यू, इस शो का नाम लाइफ कोच 1-on-1 है इसीलिए क्योंकि यू नो ही गिव्स दैट काइंड ऑफ अटेंशन टू यू. इट्स 1-on-1. आप उनके साथ बैठ के बात कर सकते हो अबाउट ऑल काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स, स्पिरिचुअल कंसल्टेंट, योगा. There are a lot many things associated to life coach. We all know that. So of course, if you want to contact him, you can call him up. If you are looking for that kind of guidance, his number is 510-364-4162. उनकी वेबसाइट है wellness by all means. आपको सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन इस वेबसाइट पे पता चल जाएगी. वो किस तरह के चीजें उनके पास रहती है, किस तरह की कोर्सेज आपको वो दे सकते हैं. इफ यू आर लुकिंग फॉर समथिंग वेरी पर्टिकुलर, मे बी यू विल फाइंड इट ऑन द वेबसाइट, और यू कैन ऑल्सो ईमेल हिम info@wellnessbyallmeans.com. so info@wellnessbyallmeans.com. ही हैज अ यूट्यूब चैनल एज वेल जहां पर आप जाके देख सकते हो किस तरह की वीडियोस डालते हैं, so that you come to know about him a little and then you can contact him if you want. So he is a life coach, spiritual consultant and yoga expert. Again, his number is 510-364-4162. The good thing is, आप जब उनके पास जाओगे, he has a free initial consultation for about 30 minutes, जहाँ पर आप spiritual healing के बारे में बात कर सकते हो with yoga and mindfulness. And आज का जो हमारा topic है, it's related to somewhere here only about life coaching, about mindfulness. And let's see where we go. If you have any questions, you can call in our studio as well. It's 510-657-1170. That's the studio number, 510-657-1170. How are you doing, Manoj?
Happy Thursday. I'm doing good. Happy Thursday. Thank you very much. And I hope all our listeners have been already getting a hint about like what we're going to talk about today.
Right.
So we are going to talk about important aspects of life, you know, in general, and then how early we can establish this kind of connection and build a stronger foundation among our children. Because many times I get a lot of parents bringing their children at the age of 16, 17, 18, like when they are too much of stress already built in. There are a lot of pressure from different corners, like from parents, from peers, from students, from teachers, all over the places are there. And then when they become so overwhelmed with stress from the academic area, and then also the future, which college to go, college preparation is going on, so they get overwhelmed and then they break down sometimes. So before they break down, I think it's a very good idea to establish a stronger foundation much earlier, maybe around age of 10 and 15 or 10, 11 years old.
Right.
They are more coachable during that time. They're more pliable during that time. So if you establish stronger foundations about many different aspects of stress, what is happiness, what is love, what is compassion, what is mindfulness, all the different topics that they very important thing. What we call is lifespan education.
Lifespan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So entire life, like we need to learn. And also, if you look at objective learning system, mostly what we go through schools, like we learn maths, physics, chemistry, engineering subjects, which enables us to get a job. That is one aspect of it.
Right.
But beyond that, we also have to find out what are the different tools and techniques that makes us a good human being, how to interact with our spouses, or how to interact with our parents, or how to interact with our children, how to build interpersonal skills. What we call is not just intellectual question that is important in our life that you get from studying different subjects in your schools, but also you need to have a higher degree of emotional intelligence, emotional quotient. You have to understand how you can balance your anger, your frustration, your negative thoughts, all the different things, depending on the job that you take. Right?
Manojji, while you're talking about the kids, I think it should start with the parents as well, because sometimes the parents' pressure are so much so that kids, they start feeling that they're going to just crumble down. And also the atmosphere which the parents create for their kids, like, how to be loving and all of that. So you think that it should start a step ahead?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Even, in fact, in Indian system, if you look at the Vedic system, they talk about there are 12 major avasthas, or 12 major stages that the human life goes through.
Achha.
The first stage is even Garbhavastha. Like before the child comes out to the planet, that is also the first stage when the parents get this education and then impart the training indirectly to the fetus inside. That's why a lot of times people do yajnas, people do a lot of spiritual discourses and
the hear chants and
the chantings and all these things. So that gives a spiritual foundation to the child. Because there are a lot of stress anyway. The moment that he lands or she lands in the world, there will be a lot of stress. So you're right. So if we can sensitize the parents also around this one, that will be a very good foundation, because they will not create unnecessary pressure to the children, knowing the fact of life, that life is changing, there is so much of knowledge is happening, so many things are changing, nothing is future proof, there are so much of things to life in general. So if we just look at one side of it, then we can create a lot of pressure. So if we can minimize the pressure and create a sustaining environment where the children can feel much safer, much happier, much more a conducive environment to foster their talent, their power of imagination, their power of independence. So those are the kind of things that we as a parent definitely should create in our house. A lot of people are sensitized, but there will be new technologies, just like new technologies coming, different smartphones are coming up every month, new things. So likewise, in the understanding of humanity, understanding of different components of the society, the different aspects of our life is also changing, because technology is changing, different aspects of our life are changing, rules, regulations changing, the way that we are brought up or the way that we are learning new things is different from our children. So there are different cultural evolution happening, intellectual evolution happening, new challenges are coming up as a society, as a humankind. So unless we brush up ourselves and then try to have an open mind and then embrace the newness, the new changes that's happening in our life, we cannot sensitize our children. So sometimes that's what they call ABCDs, American Born Confused Basis. So a lot of this confusion can happen. So in order to create a very clear environment, clean environment, the parents also have to go through this training. That's why I always talk about a family education, like when they bring their children, like whoever, like 7 years, 8 years old. But say, like, don't just send the child to me, because when you send the child for yoga practice or mindfulness practice, most likely the child will feel like it's a time out for me. Why? How come you guys are not going? Right. So I always tell them in a subtle way, like, if you also come along with it, now you don't have to pay for that, but if you come along with it, it will be great work, because you will also appreciate what I'm teaching your child, and then also you can be like a team player, so that as a team we can help your children much better, so that whatever I'm teaching, whatever videos and audios that I'm giving it to him or her practice at home, you will also try to invest your time and energy and then understand what is going on, and then maybe you can play a little role to remind him, to talk to him about the positive side of it, and then also to communication. How we communicate to our children is also very important. There are so many things that you have to learn and grow together, because that is what we teach about mindfulness. When you teach about mindfulness, how to accept everybody as such, without thinking of changing somebody. Most of the time we always try to change somebody, but change just doesn't happen like that. Like,
when we meet anyone, we like them as they are, but as years go by and you start feeling, no, this is not the person I met or whatever. So is it our thinking that has to change, that no, we still have to be with the same thinking? What do you think on this stuff?
think about, like, if you think about a water body, which is just lying there without any connection to any source of water. So after some time, after a few months and few weeks, like, it will become a place for germs and viruses. It will become stinky, stagnant water. Like, there is no aeration, there is no water going in, there is no oxygen coming in, so it becomes unused water, right? It becomes a puddle, and there's mosquitoes breeding, a lot of insects will come in, and then it can't be usable, right? So similarly, when we are into a relationship which becomes stagnant, and then we are not kind of investing onto each other, we are undergoing a lot of stress, worries, anxieties in our own life, we stop communicating to each other, we stop doing that thing that we should do in our conjugal life, or in our married life, or in our family life. We try to isolate ourselves. We are living in our own bubble, right? In our own silos. So that creates a stagnancy in a relationship. So unless they come together and practice something, unless they communicate with each other. Last time we talked about the 40 principles, the talk, the touch, the time, and trust. So unless we build a stronger foundations by exposing ourselves to these new tools and techniques that the world is giving, then the aeration doesn't happen. The life doesn't come to a relationship. It becomes very stagnant, very dull, very boring, and sometimes divorces happens, and then we don't enjoy the life together. Whatever enthusiasm and excitement that we started our life with before getting married and after getting married, that goes away. So that is why nothing is future-proof. You have to constantly upgrade yourself, constantly equip yourself with new tools and techniques. Then only you can understand the meaning of life and enjoy the life in totality. That is why yoga has been so popular, mindfulness has been so popular, because it really challenges your mind. It makes you understanding about concepts, because most of the time, out of ignorance, we will only suffer. So yoga and Vedanta and all the different positive science of psychology, they talk about what is the nature of human mind, how to practice that acceptance, how to practice compassion, how to practice truthfulness, how to practice the straightforwardness. So all the different concepts that we talked about in the form of yamas and niyamas, those are also very important to understand the importance of that in our life and balance them out. Just like people may not like Karela, say for example, like Karela is very good for health. Anything which is not good for our tongue, most likely they are good for health. Like anything that we'd like to do, mostly it will pamper us and then put us to a difficult lifestyle. Right? Short-term pleasure. Right? We always try to get attracted towards short-term instant gratification. But most of the time that lead us to destructive health behavior, addiction and stuff like that. But something which we really don't like, if you start doing it, that makes a big difference. All the successful people, they always learn how to do things that they don't like, particularly the body doesn't like. The body is a very grosser concept. Like it always likes what it likes to eat, and most of the things you like are not good for health.
It's so like you don't want to get up at 6 a.m. But your body...
Exactly. So we don't train our body to be disciplined. So we try to cooperate with our body's lethargy and its limited understanding, the ignorance aspect of it, and we live our entire life with the body consciousness. So when we come out of the body consciousness and start looking at the mental aspects, intellectual aspects, spiritual aspects, there are many, many subtle dimensions of each of us. So when we start exploring about the subtle dimensions of our life and start investing time and energy into that, practicing meditations, mindfulness, then we understand the higher purpose of our life, and then we understand subtle tools, techniques available to us, and then we enjoy life more.
Right. Absolutely. So, listeners, if you have just tuned in, let me tell you, show चल रहा है Life Coach 1-on-1, and ये Thursday को 12 से 12:30 बजे के बीच में आता है. हमारे साथ होते हैं मनोज जोशी जी, जो of course life coach, spiritual consultant, yoga expert. He's a yoga guru. If you are interested in talking to him to find out what exactly is spirituality, there are a lot of questions which are associated with life coaching. So you can definitely call him up 510-364-4162, or you can visit wellnessbyallmeans.com. And also he gives free initial consultation for all your spiritual healing with yoga and mindfulness. So you can call him up and take that free consultation so that you exactly know what you want in life.
So we have talked about like who we are, like how we help people. Then let's talk about why people need to come to us. Like if you think about the children have got tremendous need to remember things, to retain things, because that's the time they have to accumulate a lot of knowledge in order to go to the right college, in order to get the right job, in order to get the right path of life. There are a lot of challenges for that. So in order to do that and enter into the stress and worries and rat race or whatever you call it, the knowledge economy, you have to equip your mind. And yoga is a science of mind management. Just like you do MBA for business management, I think yoga is a concept of mind management. You learn how to manage your mind. If you look at Vedantic Upanishads and everything that we learn about our Indian scriptures, every document that they talk about is all about power of mind. What the modern psychologists talk about, positive psychology, the potential of mind, not just dealing with the problems of depression, anxiety and frustration kind of thing, but to how to enhance the mind power so that you can focus more, you can relate more, you can stop when you don't have to have an argument, you can enjoy a discussion, you can find more positive-minded, solution-centric. So many aspects, what we call as different faculties of the mind. So you have to learn certain techniques, how to improve those faculties. I often call, like say for example in programming language, like if the people are talking about object-oriented programming, that's a very good concept like Java and all these object-oriented programming talk about. So they say like there are different objects. Like tree is an object. So as a tree is an object, so that has got different attributes, different kind of functions. Like tree has got roots, it has leaves, it has flowers, it has fruits. So it knows how to make a sapling, how to grow fruits and flowers and all these things.
Right.
So all the different functions a tree does is already put into a library of all those functions.
Okay.
So when you are creating another element which is exactly like a tree, you don't have to rewrite the code of putting all those functions together. So what you do, you instantiate a tree object as a child object of tree, and then that inherits all the different properties or libraries of functions associated with the tree. You got it? Very simplified. It's a high-level programming concept I'm talking about.
Right.
So similarly, we as a human being also are inherited from a abstract class called universe or nature or the God. Right? There are a lot of attributes already hidden inside us. But until suppose you make a child class of tree and then you have to make some leaves or you have to make some fruits or make some flowers. You have to call those functions. Like, give me fruits right now, or give a lot of green vegetables right now. So unless you call those, they are inherent dormant in the library. But unless you invoke those calls, unless you put them in your code, they will not act it. So similarly, even though each one of us as human beings have got tremendous potential inside us in our mind and intelligence, those are all hidden treasures.
Right.
But unless you practice those like mindfulness, meditations, yoga, pranayama, life coaching, all these things, they will not be activated. So you have installed a software, but you have not activated it, it will not work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this process of activating that is coming under this class of yoga and mindfulness and yoga nidra. What we teach is activate the inner potential inside children. That brings attention and focus, that it will improve their grades in their academic career, that will become that will create more effective emotional regulation. We talk about emotional quotient, so the emotional quotient will rise up.
Yeah.
Then also they will be learning how to behave with each other, how to inculcate friendship, how to inculcate the love, compassion, all the different things that the young adults learn to equip themselves in their life. So
anger,
all this,
maybe anger controlling.
all the emotions, like how to deal with those in a non-violent way, how to deal with those kind of frustrations in a compassionate way. Like you don't have to be violent about that. Then it can create a greater empathy, and you understand about why people who they are. You don't have to get frustrated about that. You can have a bigger range of tolerance. Your intelligence level is way more to embrace a lot of different kinds of people in your life. Like you can understand why they have come from. Like you can build a correct perspective about life. And then of course those are all coming under social skills. And of course it will reduce the anxiety, it will reduce the stress, it will reduce panic attacks.
Definitely, and there are so many things when I start thinking about mindfulness. It's not just about the thinking, right? It's about the food, the way what you want to eat. You should be mindful of that. So what else can people be mindful of? That's a good question. So if you look at the traits of mindfulness, what people teach, and I also go to different corporations and teach mindfulness. So mindfulness is based on a couple of principles, fundamental principles. So one of the first principle is how to pay attention to everything that's happening. So that is applicable to everything. Like if you're having a relationship with your loved ones, you have to be mindful about paying attention. Like if you just come from home, and then you have to learn how to reduce your stress, take out all those things before you enter to the house, and be attentive if your family members are around you. Like how to be present in the moment in a conscious way. Right? That's the first thing, is being present, paying attention to everything that's happening in a non-judgmental way, in an accepting way, and also in a not reactive way. Like you don't have to react in a particular way. You have to learn how to accept
what the person is saying. You might have a difference of opinion, but you don't have to jump onto that I'm right and you are wrong.
It's
right?
like we when we start listening to someone, it's like we want to just give, just jawab dene ki jaldi rehti rather than listening. So you're just saying just finish. Exactly. Let them finish the sentence.
So mindfulness will teach you how to step back and then accept the other person what the point is saying, because you will not be in a hurry to prove yourself that you're right. Maybe the other person is also right. So, and then suppose in case because of inertia, because of the previous nature that we all have gone in, you might make some mistake. But mindfulness practice will enable you to learn from your mistake immediately without any ego, without any stubbornness, and you can learn how to accept your mistake and then seek forgiveness. Or say, I'm so sorry that I made up this one. Like I should not have told that one. So immediately, if you communicate those in the right terms, in the right time, of course that will not drag into a bad relationship in the future.
So, Manojji, what do you think, when should we be mindful of letting go things in a relationship? What do you think? Like if you're fighting and there's a heated argument, what do you think we should keep in our mind?
Mindfulness talks about being in the present moment, not in the past, not in the future. So if you look at carefully, like, if there is an argument happening, maybe you might have said something or I might have said something. Suppose you are having a discussion, an argument. I said something a minute ago or a moment ago. In the present moment, there is no impact of that unless you allow that, right? So in that case, when you are truly mindful and being in the present moment, not in the past, not in the future, you will become very much vigilant about what is the present context. You will not get dragged from the olden concept. I will tell you the story. Say, for example, there are two monks who were coming to the town, and then they had to come back to the ashram. So they had to cross the river, and there was a bridge, and then suddenly they saw like one woman was getting drowned. So the bigger monk or the senior monk, he jumped immediately to the water, and then he grabbed the woman, and then took some time, maybe 2 minutes, to put her in the bank of the river, and then he started walking back again. So by watching this one, the junior monk was very much disturbed. He said, like, as a monk, we are not supposed to look at a woman. As a monk, we are not supposed to even touch the woman. As a monk, we are not supposed to talk to them. And you did everything. You did a lot of sins. So the junior monk started talking about all these things for 3 hours until they come to the ashram. Just before they reached the ashram, the senior monk said, "Look, brother, I just hold that woman only for 2 minutes until I rescued her. But you have been holding that woman for the last 3 hours."
Right. Yeah, that's all. That's what we all do.
All about, right?
Do, yeah.
So something happened. You called me stupid 1 minute ago. I don't have to carry that baby, carry that stupid woman or stupid concept in my mind all the time. Right. So I don't have to carry what you said me, what you insulted me. That was in the past. So when I'm learning how to be in the present moment, I don't have to carry longer time. I will forget about that, I'll forgive about that, and be in the present moment. So accepting other people, non-judgmental, non-reactive, and being compassionate. The person might have said something because something else is going on his or her life. So when you start getting into that, you'll become more compassionate and start doing something. I'm so sorry that you have to say something like that. Can I help you anyway? So when you become compassionate to that person, of course you build relationship and you learn how to let go right away. So the question we asked is, how soon can we let go? The sooner is better.
The sooner is better. Yeah. Because so I just wanted you to tell, like just one thing. If someone is holding the grudge or holding the thought, what would you say in one sentence? Like, what would you tell them?
I would say, like, there are concepts like, say, I love you, I thank you, I'm so sorry for making a mistake, and please forgive me. So there are 4 principles that we practice. If you say these 4 words, love you, thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. This is coming from a very long and deep-rooted healing tradition from Hawaii. It's called Ho'oponopono technique. I use all the time. So if you silently also talk to yourself to clean up your mind and to come out of that ego clutch, to come out of the stubbornness clutch, you can always be free. And that itself is yoga. Like when you free up yourself from these mental shackles that you have created or something a situation has created. So when you come out of that much faster by using these 4 principles, I love you, thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, you will definitely be tuning into the right mindset.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Manojji. I mean, you come here, you explain us so many things, and it of course is going to help us in our day-to-day life. Thank you so much, and you guys definitely tune in every Thursday 12 to 12:30 Life Coach 1-on-1. हमारे साथ मनोज जोशी रहते हैं. उनका फोन नंबर है, if you want to contact, 510-364-4162. His website is wellnessbyallmeans.com. His email is info@wellnessbyallmeans.com, and he gives 30 minutes of free initial consultation for your spiritual healing with yoga and mindfulness guru, of course, Manoj Joshi himself, and he comes every Thursday with loads of knowledge. Also check out his YouTube channel. So YouTube पे आपने कुछ recently डाला है, quickly अगर आप बताना.
Of course, yeah, we are talking about a lot of yoga nidras right now.
Okay.
Very different kind of concept. And also in our theater also, we give them an experience of a movie, what moves them, what uplifts their spirit.
Okay.
You know, so they can come and test it and experience this.
All right, so there you go. So YouTube channel भी आप check कर सकते हैं. फिलहाल सुनते रहिए रेडियो जिंदगी. Thank you so much, Manoj ji.
Namaste, thank you.
And keep listening to Radio Zindagi. जी जा.